From the Mumbai studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
Ladies and gentlemen, the government of Assam has taken a very progressive step. They have decided to stop funding to not just madrasas, but also Sanskrit tolls and restructure them into schools instead. Now, we don't see any reason to oppose this reformative move. The Education Minister of the state will join me in a few minutes, and he will counter all the critics. And he's none other than Himanta Biswa Sarma, Senior Cabinet Minister, who's also the convener of the Northeast Democratic Alliance. But before he comes on the program, here are the facts, and then we start the debate.
In my knowledge, Government of West Bengal runs madrasa on the state funding, as well as probably one or two states they run the madrasa under the state funding. What we are trying to do, that all these madrasas will be converted to a normal regular school, or in some cases the teachers will be transferred to normal regular schools and madrasas will be closed. In my opinion, teaching Quran cannot happen with the cost of the government. So if we have to teach Quran with the cost of government, then we have to teach both Bible and Bhagavad Gita also at the cost of the government.
With that declaration, the Assam government has taken a bold yet controversial decision to shut down state-run madrasas and convert them to high schools and higher secondary schools. Not just madrasas, even tolls which are ashrams teaching Sanskrit and religious scriptures will be closed. A decision the BJP government in Assam is touting as a move towards real secularism. A move that has been questioned and opposed vehemently by minority groups.
मंत्री जी कह रहे हैं अगर वो ये चाहते हैं कि मदरसे बंद कर दें तो ये उनके अख्तियार में नहीं है। अगर ऐसा करेंगे तो ये असंवैधानिक होगा और हाई कोर्ट में या सुप्रीम कोर्ट में इसको वो लोग चुनौती दे सकते हैं।
But the counter to that opposition is in this argument. The state of Assam has 614 government-aided recognized madrasas, including 57 for girls, 3 for boys, and 554 co-educational. As per news reports, the state spends 3 to 4 crore annually on madrasas and 1 crore for tolls.
All the government-run madrasas in the state of Assam will soon be closed down. The decision was taken by the government in the month of February itself. However, the notification which was supposed to be issued was not issued, and it will be issued in the month of October itself.
The state education minister is of the view that government money can't be used to teach religion. This decision has run into massive controversy. But why such a hue and cry when it's a move to end appeasement? Let's debate.
Well, he talks straight, and I don't think he's going to reconsider this decision. Before I start, I have, of course, with me Shazia, Savio, MR, Rami, Syed Asad Abbas, Atikur Rahman, Maulana Qadri, and Nishant Verma. But you know, the thing about Himanta Biswa Sarma is, I think he shoots from the hip and he's not going to pull back his bunches. But across the country today, the lobby has you as the #1 target today. Because Himanta Biswa Sarma, they are saying you are anti-religion, you are against secularism, right? You are against the Muslim community, and that you have done this because there are so many recognized madrasas. Why do you recognize them if you have to take the support and the recognition back? So, will you please explain why you've done this?
Arnab, first of all, state of Assam runs nearly 1,000 state-run madrasas, and we used to spend almost 260 crore annually on this. But we have examined this matter and we found that state should not involve with the teaching or preaching Quran. This is not our job. So there was also counter demand from many organizations to run Bhagavad Gita in school as well as Holy Bible in the school. So we have considered the matter, as we cannot run school on the basis of all holy scripture. We have decided to close down state-run madrasa, and that notification will be issued in November, and this is not going to change at all.
No. All India United Democratic Front Chief Badruddin Ajmal has said that if you go ahead with the policy, BJP will be the loser. They have already announced that they will field candidates in Muslim areas. Now nobody in Muslim areas will vote for the BJP.
I mean, Arnab, I don't want a single vote in the name of religion. So if anybody, Mr. Ajmal, thought that BJP is going to request vote from Muslim community as Muslim, it is wrong. We are going to request vote from Muslim community or the Muslim voter as a citizen of India. We do not request vote that you are Muslim, so cast the vote. You are Hindu, so cast the vote for us. So we are going to request Indian citizens for vote, and in the bargain, if somebody doesn't vote for us because we have closed down state-run madrasa, I am prepared for it.
Are you ready to debate?
Without those
Now,
votes.
what happens is that since you are, and are you ready? Are you ready for the debate to take two questions from the other side? I know it's a one-on-one, just two questions.
Yes. What is the
Okay? Because
what is the issue?
Because now
I'll answer to
the
best of my
hashtag for
ability.
this evening's debate is viewers educate, not appease. Now, let me tell you, people are asking me what are your views on this or not. Well, I feel it's absolutely okay, because he's not just shutting down the madrasas. I feel it's absolutely okay because he's shutting down Sanskrit tolls. This is not a violation of secular principles. In a secular country, you cannot have religious teaching happening on government money. That's a simple point. Maulana Qadri, now this is going to be interesting. Maulana Saeedul Qadri is a well-known Islamic scholar from Hyderabad, Mr. Sharma. Now this, in my view, Maulana Qadri is true secularism. It ensures that secular education in government-run institutions. It is religious uniformity. The country needs to move towards, Mr. Qadri needs to move towards religious uniformity. But you want to ask a question to the NEDA chief, you can go on. Go on, ask him.
I'm an engineer, Arnab, for your kind information. I'm an engineer and I have studied in English medium schools also. And I have learned Ramayana and Mahabharata in my school days, in my curriculum. So are you saying that from tomorrow in Assam, you will remove all Ramayana and Mahabharata from your curriculum syllabuses? I'm asking this question to your guest. Is he going to announce here that Ramayana and Mahabharata will be removed? Because this is also related to religion.
Okay, so he's...
religious book. You don't
He's answering you. He's answering you, Maulana Qadri is answering you.
sorry.
He's answering you. He's answering you.
Sorry, Arnab, we don't teach Mahabharata or Ramayana in our school curriculum, except reference to the concept that these are two Mahakayya who the authors are from India. These are part of Indian tradition. We just give reference to Mahabharata and Ramayana. We do not have school to teach Mahabharata and Ramayana.
This is the policy of BJP-led government, that they are going to target each and every institution, institution which belongs to Muslims.
No, no,
as
one
you
second.
have, BJP government have announced.
Who does the
that
Sanskrit toll belong to? Maulana Qadri, who do the Sanskrit tolls belong to? As you know, 1 minute. Since I am from Assam, I'll tell you a few things. In Assam, there is a strong tradition of Sanskrit. Very strong Sanskrit tradition. The Sanskrit tolls are very important. Tarka Shastra, Assam is one of the country's greatest centers of Tarka Shastra, argument in Sanskrit. Now Himanta Biswa Sarma is also stopping the Sanskrit tolls. He's saying there's nobody stopping you from religious teaching, but don't do it on taxpayer money.
How many percent of Assamese learn Sanskrit? You
will be surprised. Let Himanta Biswa Sarma answer.
Arnab Maulana Sahab, jo bhi bole, whatever he might say, my point is very clear. State of Assam is not going to spend a single paisa for madrasa run education. We do not have mandate to teach Quran. Teaching Quran is a mandate.
Okay, one more question I'll take.
And he is going to do that.
No. I think 1 minute. Let me first say that. Let me say this. You know, I say it is true secularism, Maulana Qadri, where there is equal recognition, equal regulation, equal opportunity placed between relations. It is true secularism. Now, I'd like to remind you, the Madhya Pradesh Congress released a manifesto. The Madhya Pradesh government had Congress released a manifesto, Atikur Rahman, promising to ban RSS shakhas inside government buildings and premises. Was that secularism? But you can take your question. Ask your question to Himanta. I think your hand was raised. Ask him the question, not me. Ask him the question.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Mr. Sarma, the minorities of India, they sacrifice their separate electorates, to strengthen secularism. And Sardar Patel assured after this sacrifice that minorities, linguistic, religious and their cultural, that will be guaranteed in the constitution, and that was incorporated by Sardar Patel, guaranteeing all the minorities. Now what you are doing, is this not unconstitutional, sir?
Maulana Sahab, show me a single statement of Sardar Patel that state should run madrasa. I'll immediately do that. You just show me a single statement of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel that state should run madrasa, state should teach Quran at the cost of public funding.
Secularism, sir.
You show me a single statement.
Sir, Indian secularism stands
secularism means sarva dharma samabhava. Secularism means no appeasement. Maulana Sahab, secularism means do not appease anybody. Treat everybody as a human. Treat every religion equally. If you are teaching Quran, then teach Bhagavad Gita and Holy Bible. Otherwise don't teach anything.
Mr. Biswas.
Maulana Sahab, you have lost right to be appeased. We are not going to appease you.
That's very strong statement.
We are not going to appease you.
If you're watching this debate,
we are going to respect you. We are going to love you. We are going to give you affection. But we are not going to appease you. We are not going to appease you.
As I wrap this up, I'll tell you one thing. Before I let Himanta go, first of all, he's taken a few questions. But
not given any assurance.
Let me tell you one thing. The person on the screen today, viewers, man to watch, left the Congress party, put his foot down with the Vadra Gandhis, and is today one of the most important strategists in the BJP. Savio MR, those who know Himanta know that once he's put out his shot, he's not going to pull back. But I thank him for this. It's an interesting and important controversy. I can assure you, you're going to be a target of the lobby for a long time now, Himanta. So we'll have to get you back on the debate soon. MR is thrilled, big smile. Okay, Himanta goes away from the debate. Thank you, Himanta Biswa Sarma. Debates on. Nishant now, come on. You've come after a long time, you're on the debate with M.R. Venkatesh. This is, you see, you're fine with saying Bharat Mata Ki Jai is communal. Okay. Your definition of secularism is one. You're fine with slaughtering cows in the middle of the road. You're fine with the need to, asking why is there a need to sing Vande Mataram? Why is there a need to stand up for the national flag? But they have a problem when education becomes secular. Yes, Nishant, what's your problem? Tell M.R. your problem, I'll take the debate forward. Tell M.R. your problem.
See, Arnab, I was wanting to ask Mr. Sarma a question. Unfortunately, I could not. But, without the Hindu-Muslim divide and talks that we've been doing, the larger question was that Mr. Sarma wants to shut down madrasas and the Sanskrit. That's what I'm saying. Please lend a patience.
Okay. Let him complete, Emma. Otherwise we'll waste time.
You cannot start on a fault line, sir. You have to start talking sense. You cannot just like that bring in Hindu-Muslim into every damn thing.
Please allow me to complete. You don't decide my sense. Arnab, I will not talk like this.
No, I don't decide. I can't decide.
Okay. 1 minute. Just calm down. Calm down for a minute. Calm down for a minute. Emma, let Nishant complete his point. Yeah, let him complete and then we'll come back. Yeah.
Allow me just 1 minute. That's all what I need. Yeah. The question that I wanted to raise to Mr. Sarma, and that has got nothing to do with Hindu-Muslim divide, is that while BJP governments fund temples, while Arnab, you and I, when we are the same age, in the schools, in Kendriya Vidyalaya in 7th and 8th, that's 83, 84, 85, 1983, 84, 85, we read Mahabharata and Ramayana. So everything is taught to us. Now, shutting down these organizations will not help develop. It's degradation.
No.
And the only last question to Mr. Sarma would have been that is it the reason you were against NRC because you're a Bangladeshi?
One minute. First of all, may I just say, institutions are not shut. Government support to Sanskrit tolls and madrasas are both shut. Thank you. And now taking the debate forward, I'm bringing in MR.
I know you can shout. I know that.
MR.
I know that you can shout.
MR. I'd bring it.
Stop shouting. I can shout more than you. Get that straight, okay? I can shout on top of my voice and you'll hear me in Chennai. So stop that nonsense.
Mr. Barker, don't bark.
I don't need to bark.
Yes,
that's your BJP line. You are the barking dogs.
Thank you very much. Shazia is on the debate with Syed Aslam now. Shazia and Syed Aslam are on the debate. Shazia and Syed Abbas are on the debate. Now I want to ask you.
Using this language. One, please refrain from using this kind of language. Two, this is a very important discussion, and I would like to showcase, I want to move away a little bit, and I would like to focus on Muslims and education. So let me first of all tell you all that only 50% of Muslims who actually get through to high school have any likelihood of achieving, getting to another degree, which is a higher degree, and they trail behind all other communities, and only 17% Muslims who are matriculated find a chance of actually even finding an institution or a college thereafter. This having said this, no, you're not allowed to speak in because I haven't made my point.
No, you're not.
There is overt religiosity. There is overt religiosity.
I'm Shazia. Arnab will take the call.
Let him complete and then you come in, please. Let her complete, Syed. Come on, patience. Let her complete.
So the point I want to make is, in Aligarh Muslim University, the chief imam of the Aligarh University gets a salary almost at the pay scale of the associate professor, all at the taxpayers' money. There's 16 halls there in Aligarh Muslim University. Every of the 16 halls, residential halls, has a mosque, and all the muezzins and imams are given a salary from the taxpayers' money. I'm all for money being given to minority institutions, to teachers, for secular education, for engineering, for medicine and higher education. I'm not for overt religiosity, which covers the sense of inquiry and clouds the sense of inquiry, which has become the mandate of every madrasa and so-called minority institution. And the government of India, if you read the constitution, the privately run institutions can aid religious organizations, but not the centrally run universities.
The point is, if you consider what she said, Syed, if you consider what she said, and I add one line to what Shazia said, tomorrow the Vishwa Hindu Parishad has training camps for children across India. If a BJP state government starts funding VHP training camps for children, you will be the first person who will say the country's become communal. So think before you give a response, please. Yes, Syed, you seem a little confused with that.
Arnab, kindly, all right. Arnab, okay, now allow me, please.
Syed and Rami, Savio.
शाजिया जी, आपको मैं बड़े प्यार से और रिस्पेक्ट से बता दूं कि नाम मुसलमान रख लेने से कोई मुसलमान नहीं होता, पूरे मुसलमान ईमान से होता है।
Oh my God, there's no need.
अच्छी बात है। अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला, the God Almighty, what does he say in the Quran? अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला सारे रब्बुल आलमीन का है, सिर्फ रब्बुल मुस्लिमीन नहीं। The Almighty belongs to every single living, non-living thing in this world, not only the Muslims. My second,
come to the debate, yaar. Come to the debate, yaar.
Please. Okay. Now coming to the point, straight question I ask you today. Please speak as
Savio
a rightful citizen of this country.
Savio will reply.
What is your problem with the madrasa? Islam se problem kya hai? What is your hidden agenda?
No, one sec. Shazia, I'm handing over to Savio. Yes.
Mr.
Bharatiya
MC
Janata
Abbas.
Party, I ask you today, from so many years there are
Mr.
madrasas.
MC Abbas, let me answer that question for you.
What is your problem with madrasa?
The true definition of secular
what is the problem today
is
of
not the
BJP
acceptance
with
of all
Muslims?
religion.
You want to cut the Hajj subsidy?
The definition
You
of
want to
secularism
What
is the
your
acceptance
problem?
of no
Don't speak
religion
secular.
in matters
You
of
know what is
governance.
secular?
It
Secular
purely means
is
that
Hindu,
every
Muslim,
state
Sikh, Isai,
looks at
secular.
its citizens
school,
devoid
Holy
of
Bible
its
is right.
religion.
That is secular.
It looks at
When I
it
enter
as
Gurudwara,
a citizen.
Guru Granth
A
Sahib,
citizen is
that
a
is
citizen
secular.
and
Guru
not his
Granth Sahib
religion.
is secular.
So appeasement
Holy
politics
Gita,
in India
Bhagavad Gita is
needs to
secular,
stop.
and the Quran
What
is secular.
Himanta Biswa
Why
Sharma
doesn't
is
the BJP
doing
come out and
is
tell
what
us
needed to have
what
been
is
done
your motive?
20, 30
What
years
is
ago.
your agenda
Not now.
behind banning the
And I'm
madrasa?
glad he's doing
Aapko
it.
problem kya
Because
hai?
the real
What is
meaning
your
of secularism
problem? Can you
is
please
non-appeasement.
tell the
On the debate, on the debate, on the debate, we have now broadened the scope of the debate into the definition of secularism, as has been pointed by my friend Savio. Rami is on the debate, and may I please request Rami to engage right now, and Nishant, you respond to her, don't interrupt her. You see, tomorrow if Rami says that I want government funding, and someone says from the government for what? And she says I want funding for the Durga Vahini, which is an organization of Hindu Yuvatis committed to the protection of Rashtra Dharma and Sanskriti. You're going to freak out, right? If I say I want funding for VHP activities, if I say there are 8,500 RSS shakhas in the state of Uttar Pradesh, and I want now the Yogi Adityanath government to fund them, you will say no, it's not possible, it is unconstitutional. So I'm talking about the right to equality really here, Article 14 of the Constitution, where people of all religious communities are treated as equal, and state funding to religious schools of all religions or religious affiliations is stopped. Logically speaking, Rami is opening the debate with her points. Yes, Rami.
Good evening, Arnab. Arnab, this sort of outrage on everything and anything under the sun seems to have become really fashionable amongst this sort of opposition in the country. Why should this move, I have still not understood, that is being made by the Assam government be objected to? I mean, these madrasas are only getting a standardized sets of education. They're being developed, you know. Why should anybody object to developing of these madrasas? You know, these madrasas, 17 of them were teaching in Urdu. Is that really aimed towards employability? And the same people who are opposing would have opposed citing secularism when Madhya Pradesh proposed to teach the Gita. So, you know, let me say this, you know, there are still 900 private madrasas available for them to have an option. These are only state-funded madrasas that are being shut, and I don't think it's fair on the exchequer to take the kind of liability that is on them, especially at this time of the pandemic. And absolutely, I agree with Savio when he said that, you know, that secularism truly means the separation of state and religion. But the secularism that these people are talking about is not the secularism, it's Nehruvian secularism. So for them, that secularism hinges on appeasement. It does not at all by any stretch of imagination mean equal treatment or separation of state and religion. So, you know, at the end of the day, anyone I feel, Arnab, that is opposing this move by the Assam government is opposing it for
They
the
say
32% vote bank in Assam.
no, they are
not
trying
into
to
anything else.
Yeah, sure, but they are trying to basically protect that
answer?
large Muslim vote bank in Assam. Therefore, they are trying to provoke the Muslim community. I to that want to add Maulana Qadri. Maulana Qadri, you said you are an engineer. Just a point, please. I'll allow everyone, Nishant, including you. Just give me a minute. You see, they are saying they will go to the courts against this. The courts will absolutely stand with the government of Assam. I'll tell you why. Article 27 of the Constitution.
By yourself, Arnab.
No, sir. I am a student of the Constitution, sir. I request you.
Okay, I also know the Constitution.
You know the preamble, half of it. I want to tell you.
High Court order said that there can be no preference of religion in any state education.
Hippocratic state.
No.
Taken by the Assam government because
Maulana.
it's known that Assam government which is funding Gaushalas. Gaushalas there where the cows are protected because the cows have a secret, the religious sentiments are attached with some particular committee.
Right now we are talking about education of human beings.
But when you are...
I am not talking about cows right now. I am talking about human beings.
Here you are funding cows.
They are funded
you are
to go to
providing
Hajj.
cow shelters and you don't want...
I wish to, if you want to be reasonable, if you want to be unreasonable, I can be. But if you are reasonable, I will tell you this. And Atikur Rahman, Article 27 of the Constitution, viewers, we need to look at that now, because what does that say? That says, and I quote, no person, and we all pay taxes, no person shall be compelled to pay taxes, the proceeds of which are specifically appropriated in the name of expenses for the promotion or maintenance of any particular religion or religious discrimination. Which means, allow me, which means, now come on, let me present my argument. Which means tomorrow, if Rami Desai pays taxes, she can go to the court and she can say, as a taxpayer, I will not pay taxes because my taxes are used for religious education. She will win in court. If she challenges this, she will win in court. You understand, Atik?
Absolutely, Arnab. Absolutely. Hands down, she will win. And I will tell you, Arnab, even the Hajj pilgrimage being subsidized by the central government runs afoul of the Indian Constitution. That is also something.
Okay, no. Atik, are you understanding? Atik, I want to point your attention to Article 16.2. 16.2 of the Constitution of India prohibits discrimination in public employment on religious grounds, and in religious schools the taxpayers' money is used for hiring people from one community only. Article 15 prohibits the state to discriminate on the basis of religion. So constitutionally the government is right. Now listen, Atik, this is a new India. We are all going to move towards the Uniform Civil Code also. Let's take the first steps towards it. What's your problem? These are all steps to the UCC.
Arnab, no problem at all. No problem at all. If you are quoting equality, then equality should last. The people are being fooled,
Who's fooling?
As far as secularism goes, within days, secularism, the days are numbered as far as this government is concerned.
Please don't shout. Sir, please don't shout. There is no need for you to shout, sir. We can say whatever we have to say. My point is different from others. I speak from the point of view of Muslims and their education. And I think if you look at the employability of Muslims, and I think of Muslims going into the new era, being mainstreamed and seeking jobs as equals. This whole business of only religious education for Muslims. Some Muslims also
Okay. You can't preach religion at the cost of public money.
Can I?
Nishant.
Can I?
Yes, Nishant.
Can I come in, please?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I just need to make one quick point, Arnab, to your question. Because when you said that madrasas you were comparing with Vishwa Hindu Parishad and RSS, let me make it very clear. Madrasa is a religious place. VHP, RSS, Bajrang Dal are not certified Hindu organizations. They may be self-styled. Number two, importantly, while we are talking of development, cultural, religious, in secularism, allow me to complete, ma'am. You said don't shout, now you are shouting. In secularism, we increase the diaspora.
Viewers,
we don't curtail. So by curtailing,
viewers, I think what I'll do is, I think what I'll do is, because Because
That's what Modi ji said.
because I am
Quran in one hand and computer in the other.
Don't
because
do
I am
And Mother-
No, you
because
don't
I am
do that.
do that.
You cannot curtail.
You do not
You
adhere to
cannot
that.
curtail
There is
in
nothing-
secular
there is no
democracy,
state.
in progressive
No,
democracy,
you cannot-
in
you cannot
secularism.
state.
You need to increase the gambit.
Viewers, because I am closing my show a little early today, and I apologies for that. I have some engagement. Apologies for that. I have some very important engagement, so I have to close the program. I've just realized that this has become a very important debate, so I'm going to come back to it. Viewers, what is constitutional and not constitutional eventually will be decided by the articles of the Constitution. Now, you can't preach religion at the cost of public money. Straightforward argument. We'll take this forward tomorrow. My apologies. You know I'm closing 20 minutes early, but for a good reason. And I shall see you come what may at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Till then, apologies for tonight. Closing early. See you tomorrow. Good night and goodbye.